This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. And don't forget, folks, I want to thank the folks at New York Hotel and Casino and the MGM Grand for hosting us this week. As always, I mean, really, really fun and a very, very, when we talk about like an event, this is the kind of event that I love coming to, but a world championship event is just second to none. So we thank New York, and we thank, of course, the MGM Grand. And we thank David Furones for joining us. How you doing, my man? You doing all right?
Absolutely, yeah. The times I've been to Vegas, I like staying at the MGM. So I hope you're having a good time out there.
Yesterday I went to have my favorite chicken soup. When you stay at the MGM, you got to go to the Wolfgang Puck there.
Oh, yes, I've had it.
Oh, their chicken noodle soup is my favorite chicken noodle soup in the world.
Okay. I'll have to keep that in mind for next time.
Go to my Twitter page or my Instagram page, either one. I posted it yesterday, and just look at that soup. I mean, it is so good, dude. It's so good. It is delicious. It's hearty, and it's also light. You know, because sometimes some of these soups have grease and stuff on it. You know, and this soup just goes down so smooth, dude.
Hearty but healthy. That's good.
Yes, hearty and healthy, dude. Really, really good soup. All right, so this Azukama thing, kind of interesting. Apparently, he's got an injury prior to when he was in Texas Tech, and then Craycraft now put also on the IR. So, talk to us about both gentlemen, and what's the future for either one.
Yeah, we were wondering about Ezukanma because kind of caught everyone by surprise when he played. He didn't have an injury status, and then all of a sudden he was inactive, and then we weren't aware of any injury going into that game. So it was interesting when he wasn't able to go, and then you finally see it's the neck when he pops up on the Wednesday injury report this week. So something that was there before, and then now rediscovering. We don't know too much or too many specifics, but that's concerning for that young man. And now he's on the reserve non-football injury list. So that'll put him out now for the considerable future. Same thing with River Craycraft. Obviously, we saw him go down with that shoulder injury during the Denver game. Obviously, he went down on it, and it was that right shoulder, and he was having a tough time moving it as he came off the sideline, off the field. So ever since Monday when Mike McDaniel first spoke about it, then he seemed to indicate that it wasn't going to be something that he would be able to come back quickly from. So I thought once he said that injured reserve seemed to be a realistic possibility. And then sure enough, today we do find out. And the Dolphins, they were probably looking for a roster spot anyway, because Cameron Good, outside linebacker, who's been elevated already 3 times, core special teamer at this point. So he's been a big part of Danny Crossman's group over there. So now that would probably open up a spot either for him or some other guys, maybe also eventually if you want to just sign Robbie Chosen to the active roster now with 2 wide receivers down, you can do that.
Yeah, no, listen, the question I have is, are these permanent things or they can come back?
Yeah, well, River Craycraft, I mean, it was an injury suffered in the game. I would think, he could come back probably after the injured reserve already puts him out 4 weeks. So give him his time, let him heal from that. And then the Ezukanma stuff, it's a little scary because we don't know too much at this point. So, and just the fact that it was something pre-existing that was there before, that leaves you slightly concerned for him. And he was just coming along too.
Yeah, man, he was looking good, and obviously still a young player with a future. What's the latest with Armstead and Connor Williams?
Yeah, Armstead said at his locker today after practice that he does expect to play. So he is officially listed as questionable. So I think that's just semantics. But Armstead said himself he's going to go. And then Connor Williams also was questionable with that groin injury. I know groins can linger a little bit. So we didn't have a similar affirmation from him that he would play after practice. But that's something to watch. And then if he can't go, it's going to be Liam Eichenberg again.
What were your thoughts on Liam Eichenberg's play when you watched the film?
Yeah, and I asked this question to Mike McDaniel himself, and then he said he stepped up, and I guess I could feel the same way. It wasn't anything that was spectacular. Some snaps that were a little bit errant, which you're going to get from Connor Williams anyway. But hey, he's playing.
By the way, he didn't look like the Liam Eichenberg we've gotten to know. He looked better.
Yeah. Well, even midway through last year, that was kind of the thing, is that when he was playing left guard, is that the staff really did honestly, genuinely feel that he was coming along before that first knee injury that put him out in that was October 30th, that late October Detroit game, and then it set him back for a while, and then
trust me, I know, because when he got injured, they were like, "Oh, he was coming around." I'm like, "Really? I didn't see it." And he goes, "They go to me. Trust me, you don't know what you're seeing."
I think it was kind of just that one game that because even the week going into that, he was still, everyone was kind of down on him. I think myself as well. And Robert Jones filled in serviceably when that happened last year. So now they got Isaiah Wynn there at left guard. So, but Liam Eichenberg, that's how quickly it happens in the NFL. You're back in the fold now, dependent on whether Connor Williams can go or not.
And by the way, they were passionate about that shit last year. Like they got insulted when I said to them, like, really? He didn't look like he's made any You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're watching. He was turning the corner. I'm telling you, he was turning the corner. And so it's like, okay, all right.
One thing I've come to learn.
I'll take your word for it. It's your job on the line, not mine. So I'll take your word for it. It's fine.
Okay. You're talking about the coaching staff. Yeah.
I'm talking about. I'm not saying only coaches. I'm just saying the people in the building. They were adamant. See, that's the reason why we all talked about offensive linemen, and then they were like, "What are you guys talking about? We're fine." You know what I mean? Like, we were crapping on Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg. We were nervous as hell with those guys, and those guys, because they didn't deal with the first couple of years. All they dealt with was last year, and for them, they weren't ready to give up on those guys. And sure enough, Austin has paid off for them, and I got to give them a lot of credit because Liam, I thought, did a good job last week, dude. He played a lot last week, and I thought he did a good job overall. Was he dominant like Connor Williams is blocking? No. But he, most of the time, did his job. He blocked the guy he was supposed to, even moved up to the second level a couple times. I mean, he actually did I was really surprised with him, put it that way. Pleasantly surprised, obviously.
It goes back to when we spoke to General Manager Chris Greer, and he's like you said, he was the one that said, "You all seem to be a lot more worried about this offensive line than I am," were his words. So this is kind of what he was seeing, and what Mike McDaniel was sort of reporting to him as well. Because when I spoke to McDaniel in owners meetings, once you get through that first wave of free agency, and that was kind of one of the questions that I had for him. And he sort of said, "Hey, look, we really want to give these guys a second year, a second chance in the same offense. They hadn't had that through their first, in Austin Jackson's case, 3 seasons, and he lost really that third year in the new system. And then Liam Eichenberg's case, his first 2 years also impacted by injury midway through that second season. So they wanted to give them a chance in that second year of the same offense. He brought up Laken Tomlinson, who he had in San Francisco, who was a guy who came around that people were down on in a similar way, and then he became a Pro Bowler, got 2 contracts after that. So there are a lot of similar stories when offensive linemen have that continuity in the scheme. And then although they changed offensive line coaches, but Butch Barry has albeit that UM stint wasn't really good, and we all know how it went last year in Denver, but so far, really strong performance from him getting these guys ready up front.
Yeah, big time, man. We got to give all of them credit. Plus, I think they're all comfortable, too, most of them, except for Wynn. But all these guys, it's second year in the system, so you can tell everybody's much more comfortable. Jalen Phillips out. How serious is this oblique injury?
Yeah, if he's out and he didn't practice all week, then seems to be pretty serious. He was already dealing with the back before that, so sometimes kind of one thing could lead to another. So similar, in the middle body area. So that's concerning, and we'll have to monitor his status. We already know he's out this week, and then now just find out if next week he can begin some kind of practice regimen. But we all know he's a warrior, so he will can and will get back on the field if he can. But the other side of it is Andrew Van Ginkel, another big opportunity for him, because we've really seen him step up the once when Jalen Phillips was out in New England, and then when he had to leave the last game in Denver. AVG has been phenomenal, a revelation in the way he can now be versatile inside and outside this year in Vic Fangio's scheme. And then even when he goes back to that old edge guy that he's been since the Brian Flores era, then he has really paid dividends when he gets his opportunities.
By the way, I just saw here where Jordan Poyer is out for this game. So I don't really think they have the corners to hang with Miami's receivers. Now you're going to be missing one of your two safeties. That's where you're actually elite. That's where you're really good. You're not really good at corner as it is. Wow, that's really good news for Miami.
Yeah, and we all saw how the Broncos being down Justin Simmons in last week's game, right off the bat. What was it? Third play of the game, Tyreek Hill. It's because of a blown assignment by the guy filling in for Justin Simmons coming up to bite on Robbie Chosen's route. And then, although Tyreek Hill apparently ran the wrong route, but to everyone's advantage on the Dolphins, and Tua with some decent. A little
well, if you ran the wrong route and he still found you, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Vision.
Right.
Vision. Yeah.
The anticipation that we always speak of.
Something Jets fans are finding out Zach Wilson has none of: vision. You know what I mean? It's hilarious when you hear some idiot say, well, the line's doing the job and these guys are so fast. Most guys can do this. No, most guys can't do what Tua's doing. No. Stop underestimating throwing on time, on target, aggressive, small windows at times, stuff like that. No. People don't do that normally. It's just, that's hard to do. When people they think the next guy can do this. No, bro. No. Ridiculous.
And the key is the anticipation that he throws with, because oftentimes it is before that break even happens. So he's one step ahead. So the defender hasn't even reacted to the cut from the receiver, but Tua knows where the receiver's going. And even in this case, knows when he's going to go where he's not supposed to go, and then watches the whole play develop, which also that requires good protection when you can go through that many reads in a progression and realize that a receiver is going to run the wrong route, and realize that wrong route is going to lead to a huge play where he's going to be wide open.
Right, exactly. And by the way, if you want I think my favorite anticipatory throw that he's made so far in the Dolphins uniform, it's his rookie year against Arizona. When he throws it opposite of where not Surtain, what's the name of the other corner that was there for a long time?
Patrick Peterson. Yeah.
That he knew Peterson was going to go in the inside, and he threw it to the outside of the receiver. Go look at that play. It's still the best. So what do you got? What's your prediction?
Okay, what did I have? All right, Dolphins 31, Bills 30 was my prediction. So a little bit of a shootout affair, very tight game. And I think I even wrote that I got a little specific with my prediction in the Sun Sentinel. I said Tua will lead one scoring drive. I don't know if it'll be a field goal or touchdown, but they'll take the lead with it. And then Josh Allen will have a turnover on his final chance.
Nice. I think the running game is going to be the key here. And I'm not talking about Miami, because I'm expecting Miami to run and pass on them, because last year they could do it with a line that wasn't healthy and they weren't really all in tune yet. And yet the coach, failed to continue, and he gave up on it in that second game. I think they're going to be able to run, and I think they're going to be able to pass. But what I feel is you're going to have to stop their run, and specifically Josh Allen's run. You cannot allow him to start getting first downs. What you need to do is force him to beat you with his arm, and that's when he will be forced into that mistake you're talking about, because Josh Allen will make mistakes as long as you force him to be a passer on a consistent basis. If you allow him to get his legs involved in the game, that's when he's really dangerous, because he really can't do it all with his arm. He's not accurate enough to do it with his arm on a consistent basis.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And then that's what has really plagued the Dolphins defense going back to last year. That a lot of the mobile quarterbacks we saw what Justin Fields did, what Lamar Jackson did in that week 2 game, and then Josh Allen, of course. Although they kind of contained him sort of in that playoff game. So some positive strides shown there. And then also forcing turnovers in that game that kept them in it while Skylar Thompson, third string quarterback, was playing in that kind of environment. So we'll see what Vic Fangio schemes up. So he's going to have to Josh Allen's always going to try to put you in conflict, and we'll see how much Allen is focusing coverage on Diggs, how much, whether he employs a spy on Allen, things like that.
I'm taking the points, and I'm betting the Dolphins on the money line. So we'll see what happens. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. Catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. As always, my brother, thank you. Have a great weekend. We will talk post-game.
Likewise. Enjoy Vegas.
You got it. Always. Be good. There you go. David Furones. We're talking about EJDconstruction.com. Miami Dolphins report. Call him 305-433-4843.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.